Hey guys, so I am just starting with priming my eyes. I am using a foundation concealer duo from Icing, and I'm just going to rub this all over the lid, carrying it sometimes up towards the brows. And you just want to prime these bad boys, get them ready for your eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with just a really nude color. You want to put this in windshield wiper motions into that crease and buff it all in. I'm going to use small circular motions as well to just rub this around, make sure that there's not going to be any harsh lines when you add on the extra colors. Then I'm going in with a darker brown, and then the exact same thing, windshield wiper motions from the outer to inner corner, and then small circular motions to buff these two together. Make sure that they're really blended. This is just going to give you more dimension in that crease. Now I'm going in with a much darker shade, and I'm going to pack this on that outer corner in a triangular motion. You just want to run from the lower lash line up into the crease. Once you get most of the pigment off your brush on the outer crease, you just want to run this on the outer corner. You just want to run this up into that crease. Then I'm going to be taking a cream, sparkly, shimmery shade and packing this all over the lid. Yes, I am covering up a lot of that brown that we just put on there, but we're going to go back in and buff that all together. Make sure, yes, there's no harsh lines when we do this. So don't worry about covering up a lot of that brown that you just put on with this shimmery shade. You just want to make sure that you definitely have a lot of sparkle on there. Now I'm going back in and buffing all that out with the initial brush that we used, just making sure that that brown pigment does come back through. And taking more of the brown pigment before we just used the brush, we didn't put any more product on there. I am using more product and putting that dark brown back into the corner of our eye with this brush. Now I'm taking a much darker shade than the rest, and I'm going to just run this along that lower lash line and buffing it up a little bit into that corner, not much into the crease. This is going to act like a middle shade between the shimmer and the brown. This is going to give a little bit more fun color because this is more of a purpley red. Just going to darken up that crease, give us more depth and dimension to our eye. Now I'm just taking that first brush again with no extra product and buffing this all together so we have no harsh lines. Alright, now I'm just going to line my eye. I'm going to keep this right on that lash line, almost as if there is no liner there. And then you're going to just extend this out past the lash line, creating a small wing. And you do want to just repeat the exact same steps on the other eye. Running this along the lower lash line, you just want to connect the dots, point to point. Now I'm going in with that purpley shade and buffing out the lower lash line. Make sure that you do connect this up into your wing. If you don't, it's going to look really weird. So make sure that you do buff that shadow up over your wing as well. Now I'm going in with an age rewinder corrector. I use this as a concealer, and you just want to run this right underneath that eye. This will just fix any mistakes that you've made with your liner. You can sharpen your point with this, and it will get rid of any fallout that you had before we apply our foundation. I'm just going to use a beauty blender and buff all this out. Now I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I'm just going to buff this all over my face, guys. Yes, this is fast because it's not rocket science. Just make sure that you really focus on the point where your ears connect to your face and down around your lower jaw connecting to your neck. You really want to focus on those problem areas. That's a lot of times where we see those lovely foundation lines that we can get, so definitely focus on those areas as well when doing this. I always run my foundation down my neck and buff really hard by my ears. Now I'm just going back in with that initial concealer. I'm going to run this along my nose, on my chin, under my eyes again, and then, yes, I almost broke it, and over my eyebrows in little dotting motions. Now I'm going to use the Revlon Colorstay Whipped Foundation just to brighten up my under eyes. This is in the lightest shade it comes in. I'm just going to put this over that concealer, the Adri Wine concealer, and buff it all out with my beauty blender. Now I am going to contour with my Maybelline Fit Me stick. This shade is a little bit lighter than I had hoped it would be, but it does work really well for a very natural contour. I'm just going to buff this in with a Real Technique stippling brush. When you do buff out a cream contour, you want to make sure to push it up towards your eyes, not down towards your jaw. That'll make it look extremely muddy, so as you do this, make sure that you push it up, not down. Yes, my hair is getting in the way of things. Now I'm going to run this along my forehead as well, and when you buff this, buff it into your hairline. Don't bring it down far on your forehead. It'll cause more oxidation in your foundation. If your foundation already does oxidize, then you really don't need your bronzer coming down over your face. Now I'm just going to set this with a powdered bronzer. It is, I believe, a Wet n Wild, although everything will be linked down below for you guys. And I'm just going to set this right over where I put that cream contour. Now I'm just going in with my blush. I am using a Bare Minerals blush, and I just dab it right into the powder, and then I just put in little flicking motions on my face. Make sure that you don't take it too far up. You just want to do the apples of your cheeks and drag it all the way back to your hairline in dabbing motions. This will prevent you from putting way too much product on your face. As we all know, we don't need any crazy pink blush going on in the middle of winter. Alright, now I'm just going in and buffing this all out. I like to go back and forth between my powdered bronzer and my powdered blush and just rubbing them both together. It just gives a good mix of both. I'm just taking my beauty blender to make sure that I didn't get any blush or bronzer anywhere that I didn't want it, and going back in with my foundation brush with no extra product, just running it along where I want that harsh contour line to be. Now I'm taking again that concealer just to harshen up this line even more because I enjoy a hard contour, and going back in with my beauty blender, I'm just going to blend out this line and buff it up into the bronzer. As you can see, I'm using flicking motions, not many dragging motions. It's more dabbing and flicking. Now I'm just going in and setting with the translucent powder from Bare Minerals, setting my entire face, going back in with a big fluffy brush. This will just blend out any lines that we don't want on our face, created by the bronzer or the blush, anything that we just don't want to have a harsh line. This will help buff it all out. Yes, my brows did get done off camera. If you guys want to see a brow tutorial, let me know. I'm going in with this shimmery shade now, and this is going to be my highlight. It is, unfortunately, not carried anymore, but I will link the very similar eyeshadow or highlighter down below for you guys. And I'm just running this right along the top of my cheekbones. This is just going to give a pop. It helps that contour. It's its partner. It's going to help make your cheeks look very plump and have that very harsh cheekbone that I am looking for. Now I'm just taking another brush to make sure that I didn't get that highlight too close to my under eyes, and I'm pushing it down over the blush and into the bronzer. And just going back in to clean up those lines. Now I'm going in with mascara, and I'm going to be using my Better Than False Lashes by Too Faced. First you go in with the gold. It's a 3-step process. And you just put this on both top lashes, both eyes top. I don't put it on the bottom, although you could. I use two different mascaras for the bottom lashes. After you go in with this first step, you're going to take the little white one, which has cotton fibers in it, and you put these right over the mascara. This helps to lengthen your lashes. They'll be more full without having to go over with tons of drugstore mascara and getting all clumpy. This is extremely natural looking. I really recommend this product to you guys. And I'm just going in with that third step, covering it back up with that first mascara. Now I am just taking one drugstore, which is the Colossal, Maybelline Colossal mascara, I believe. I just like to run over because the brush that's on that Colossal mascara really helps separate your lashes if there is any clumping. I'm just going in with 2 drugstore mascaras. I can't remember exactly which ones they were, but of course they'll be linked down below. Now I'm going back in with that shimmery shadow, and I'm going to put this right over that eyebrow bone. This just helps to, pretty much same as your cheeks, you've got your darker colors in the crease, now you've got your lighter colors on the bone. Helps really open up those eyes and make them pop. And that will be our last step. Oh, we are going to buff. Always go back and buff, guys. Always go back and buff. That is the look for you. This look is so neutral. You can pair it with so many different lips. I've got a few pinks here for you. Some peachy shades, a dark red, a nude. Just to show you guys how really universal this look can be. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye! The palettes are behind you. I was like looking for my brown palettes and I didn't have them anymore. You don't need to zoom in.
I paused. After them. Pause where you are. That was so up there.
Oh,
You're
you're so sweet.
Oh, really? That one's a keeper for the final.